branch and I hop in the Bama. The world is mine. I'm Tony Montana. I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard. I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills. I feel like I'm Lauren. You ready or not? I like who got businesses. I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly. We been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pork cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
The folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Cleveland. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Watson, off play action. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A huge play there right off the bat. 45 yards. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper and 2nd down.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Watson going to try and run it. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side complete to Chase. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, Mixon. That is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Burrow going for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Faking the give. Now Watson. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Going right side is White. Gets past one man. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson rolling to his right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. The Browns at 11-2 now, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front runners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashad White with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now it's Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll stay on the ground, mixing again.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
It goes as a pickup of 23, and it'll give the Bengals a first down. Here's Burrow.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Open man, Higbee, the tight end.
Here we go.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Burrow will throw.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
11.
the play fake. Here's Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. On second down, here's Mixon. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And he is going to have the Bengals first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
On one, ready?
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
They'll set up to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The Browns drive about to get started
as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Watson on 1st down.
Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the 2nd half. The Bengals drive about to get going.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here we go on 4th down with Burrow. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down. And it is a big letdown there defensively. They somehow allowed to convert on 4th and long. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Burrow.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Mixing up the middle. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Wide open receiver, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
From the red zone now, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. From the 16, Watson. Flush to his right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A shotgun snap for Watson.
Another catch by White. Back-to-back plays.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz,
His 11th touchdown of the year.
and the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point by York is up and good.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
After the interception, here's Watson. That's complete to White.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
On second down, they'll run with White. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. On the move to his left.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. This offense so far on third down, just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be third. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
First down, here's White. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Watson.
And this one too low.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And the tight end goes in motion left. They will indeed snap it to Watson.
Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. To throw is Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They run straight ahead here with White. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
2nd and 10 now. Burrow. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A final shot now for Burrow. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory.